Hello and welcome to Fast English. Today, we will learn English through a real story, the life of Vladimir Putin. This video is made for beginners, people who are learning English at A1 or A2 level. We use simple words, slow reading, and clear sentences. At the end, we will review some vocabulary, grammar, and useful sentences. Are you ready? Let's begin. The story of Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin was born in Leningrad, Russia, on October 7, 1952. His family was not rich. They lived in a small apartment. His father was a factory worker. His mother worked in a hospital. They lived a simple life. As a child, Putin liked sports. He started to learn judo and sambo. He was small, but he was strong and very focused. He wanted to be the best. At school, Putin was quiet. He did not talk much, but he was smart and liked to read books. One day, he read a book about spies. He wanted to be a spy. When Putin grew up, he studied law at Leningrad State University. He studied hard and finished his studies in 1975. After that, he joined the KGB, the secret service in Russia. This was a big step in his life. Putin worked in East Germany for many years. He learned to speak German well. He watched people, took notes, and sent reports. He was a quiet and serious man. After the Soviet Union broke down in 1991, Putin left the KGB. He returned to Leningrad, which is now called St. Petersburg. He started working for the city government. He worked with the mayor and helped with business and trade. In 1996, Putin moved to Moscow. He worked for the Russian government. He was fast, loyal, and always did what he was told. Important people started to notice him. In 1999, the president of Russia, Boris Yeltsin, chose Putin to be prime minister. This was a big surprise. Not many people knew who Putin was, but Yeltsin liked him and trusted him. The story of Vladimir Putin. In August 1999, there were bombings in Russian cities. Many people were afraid. At that time, Russia was fighting in Chechnya, a small region in the south. There were many problems. Russia needed a strong leader. President Yeltsin said, "Putin will help." He made Putin prime minister. Then, something big happened. On December 31, 1999, Yeltsin said, "I will leave. Putin will be the new president." People in Russia were surprised. Some people were happy. Some people were confused. But Putin became president on the first day of the new year, January 1, 2000. Putin was 47 years old. He was not very tall. He did not smile much. But he looked strong. He talked clearly and directly. He said, "Russia needs order. Russia must be strong again." Many people liked him. They said, "He is serious. He is not weak." In 2000, Putin won the election. He became president for real. People voted for him. He started to make big changes. He made the government more powerful. He made rich people, called oligarchs, follow his rules. Some people left Russia. Some people went to jail. Putin also changed the TV and the media. Before, TV stations were free to say what they wanted. But now, many TV stations followed Putin's rules. They showed only good things about him. People started to call him strong man, a leader who controls everything. In 2004, Putin won the election again. He stayed president for 4 more years. But in 2008, the Russian law said, no one can be president more than 2 times in a row. So, Putin did not run for president that year. His friend, Dmitry Medvedev, became president. But everyone knew, Putin was still the most powerful man in Russia. Putin became prime minister again. He worked closely with Medvedev. People said, Putin is still the boss. In 2012, Putin ran for president again. This time, the law changed. The term was longer, 6 years. Putin won. He became president again. Some people were angry. They said, "This is not fair." They protested in the streets. But the police stopped them. Putin stayed in power. The Crimea situation. In 2014, something big happened. Ukraine, a country next to Russia, had a new government. The old leader left. The new leaders wanted to be closer to Europe. Putin did not like that. He said, "Many Russian people live in Crimea. We must protect them." So, Russian soldiers went into Crimea. Soon after, Russia said, "Crimea is now part of Russia." Many countries were angry. They said, "This is not legal. Crimea belongs to Ukraine." They put sanctions on Russia, special punishments on business and money. But many Russians said, "Good job, Putin." His popularity went up. He became more popular than before. Later years and more power. In 2018, Putin ran for president again. He won again and stayed president. People started to say, "How long will Putin stay in power? Is he a president or a king?" In 2020, Russia made another big change to the law. Now, Putin could stay president until 2036 if people keep voting for him. The Ukraine War, 2022. In February 2022, Russia attacked Ukraine. Putin said, "We must protect Russian people. We must stop threats from NATO." But the world said, "This is a war. This is wrong." Many countries helped Ukraine. They sent weapons and money. They stopped doing business with Russia. Many people in Ukraine died. Many people had to leave their homes. The war was very hard for everyone. In Russia, some people did not agree with the war. They were arrested. They could not speak freely. Still, Putin stayed strong. He said, "We will not stop." Today, now, Vladimir Putin is still the president of Russia. He has been in power for more than 20 years. Some people love him. They say, he made Russia strong again. Some people fear him. They say, he controls everything. Putin is a man with many sides. He is smart, strong, and careful. But he is also strict, and he does not like people who disagree with him. This is the story of Vladimir Putin. A boy from a poor family. A man who became a spy. A man who became the most powerful person in Russia. Putin's personal life. Vladimir Putin does not talk much about his personal life. He was married to a woman named Ludmila. They got married in 1983. She was a flight attendant before they met. They had 2 daughters. Putin's daughters' names are Maria and Katerina. They lived a quiet life. The public did not see them much. Putin wanted to keep them safe and private. In 2013, Putin and Ludmila got divorced. They said they made the decision together. They said, "We have different lives now." Since then, Putin lives alone. But many stories say he may have a secret partner. Putin never talks about this in public. Putin loves sports. He likes judo, swimming, and ice hockey. He also loves animals, especially dogs and horses. Many photos show Putin riding horses or playing with dogs. He also loves nature. He sometimes goes into the forest or mountains. He likes quiet and wild places. Putin's leadership style. Putin's way of leading is strong and serious. He does not smile much in public. He speaks slowly and clearly. He wants people to listen to him. He makes fast decisions. He likes control. Some people say he does not trust others easily. He keeps his group small, only close people. In government, he gives orders. People follow them. If someone disagrees, they often lose their job, or worse. Some people say Putin is like a czar. A czar was an old Russian king. Putin in the world. Putin has many opinions about the world. He thinks the West, countries like the US and Europe, want to control Russia. He does not like this. He wants Russia to be strong and independent. He does not want NATO, a military group, near Russia. Putin wants Russia to be powerful again. He wants the world to respect Russia. But many countries do not agree with Putin. They say he breaks international law. They say he does not respect human rights. There are sanctions on Russia. Many countries do not trade with Russia like before. Russia is more alone now. But some countries still work with Russia, like China, Iran, and North Korea. Putin's power and the Constitution. Russia has laws. But in 2020, the laws changed. Now Putin can stay president until 2036. That is many more years. Some people say this is not fair. They say, one person should not stay in power too long. But other people say, Putin keeps the country safe. Elections in Russia still happen. But some people say the elections are not fair. Many leaders who disagree with Putin cannot run. Some go to jail. Some leave Russia. Critics and opposition. There are people who speak against Putin. One famous person was Alexei Navalny. He spoke about corruption, stealing money in government. Navalny was poisoned in 2020. He survived, but he said, Putin did this. The Russian government said, no, we didn't. Navalny went back to Russia. He was arrested. He stayed in prison. Many people say, Russia is dangerous for people who speak the truth. Putin and the future. No one knows what will happen next. Will Putin stay in power until 2036? Will there be more wars? Will Russia change? Some people say, Putin will stay until the end. He will never give up power. Others say, nothing lasts forever. One day, things will change. The world watches Russia. Many people want peace. Many people want freedom. But for now, Putin is still in control. He is still the president. And his story is not over. Let's review. Now, you have listened to the story of Vladimir Putin. You learned about his childhood and family, his time in the KGB, becoming president, big events like Crimea and the Ukraine war, his personal life, his leadership and power, his relationship with the world, what may come in the future,